What's going on? I have to tell you a couple things. One, right before that countdown timer was over, I realized I had a huge mess behind me on my little shelf behind me. And I was like, sometimes you just got to kind of make it happen at the last second. Okay. Hello and welcome to the Ask StreamYard show. Normally we are live on Fridays at 11. However, I had a little bit of a thing that came up very last minute, unfortunately, on Friday, and I had to reschedule. I am so sorry for that. So many of you like to watch on Fridays, and you were waiting. Tim Heel actually said, been waiting since last Friday. So my apologies, but here we are today. I'll be back live again this Friday at 11 a.m. Shouldn't have any issues with that. But sometimes that's what you got to do, right? Doug says from SmackDown Not Stores, well, this is a nice surprise on a Monday. Yeah. And I was asking everyone in the comments, do you use a countdown timer for your streams? Lots of responses coming in. Let's see. So let me look here. Kermit and Friends wrap up says, I used to. JP Lawns and more said, sometimes I do, and sometimes I use an intro. Oh, there you go. Very good. I like it. Supreme Gecko says, I'm very passionate about this topic. Let's see here. Bible Reviews and Afternoon Tea says, I don't use the timer unless it's a premiere, which is part of the timer use. That's a little different than... That is when you premiere a video on YouTube, it will create a timer for you. So I think that's what you're referring to on that. So Blondie Gaming, which is a gentleman, by the way, we learned that last time, says hello, everyone. Hello. I had to give you a little shout out there. So Mike says, so you're saying that today is Friday. Don't you wish, like, I don't know about you guys, but I kind of wish today was Friday. I usually don't mind Mondays, but for whatever reason, I'm kind of wishing I kind of wish I was going into the weekend right now, but we're not. It's Monday. It's the beginning of the week. So, hello, Andrew. Good to see you here hanging out. Andrew says, I use a 30-second countdown timer. So, yeah, so interesting. Countdown, no. So, some people are not using countdowns anymore. So, Blondie Gaming says, I stopped using the timer. I just start up and get to talking. I realize I'm too small to miss those opportunities to get people to stay. Great point. We are going to cover this in detail today. So, if you are just not joining us, we are going to be talking about using the countdown timer when it comes to starting your live stream. So those of you that are new to StreamYard, you may not realize there is a very easy way for you to begin your live streams with a countdown timer. Maybe you've seen people go live starting with a countdown timer and you've thought, I want to do that. Maybe many of you are actually already live streaming and you're not sure about using the countdown timer. Today, we're going to talk about how to use the countdown timer, how to start with a countdown timer. I'm literally going to give you a step-by-step, the best way to do it when you are going to use the StreamYard features. I'm also going to help you determine whether or not you should be starting with a countdown timer, because maybe you should and maybe you shouldn't. There are definitely some scenarios to explore. This is actually quite the debate in streamers out there about whether you should use a countdown timer or not. And I will say that it is certainly situational. My personal opinion, to get down to it, is it depends on a lot of factors. And I'm going to try to cover a few of those factors with you all today. So we're going to be talking about that. So if you have questions, hang on to those questions. You will have an opportunity to ask me questions. Of course, we will definitely do some Q&A as we get towards the end of today's episode. So we'll be hanging out here for about an hour. I'm going to cover how to use a countdown timer. I might even show you how to make your own countdown timer using Canva if we have time. And then again, I'm going to talk about some scenarios about how you can determine whether or not you should start with a countdown timer, and maybe some things you might need to do after your live stream if you did start with a countdown timer. So that's the stuff we're going to be diving into today. It's going to be a lot of fun. So we're going to have some good stuff today. And I'm sure there will be some, I already see it coming. I'm sure that there will be some varying opinions in the chat, which is fine. That is okay. Everybody be nice. You're all entitled to your own opinion. It's one of those things. So, all right, let me see here. I see lots of stuff, lots of comments about countdown timers. So let's see. Doug says, I use a 60-second timer just enough for YouTube and Facebook to get up and running and have at least a few people join. So I'm not talking to myself. Definitely one of the benefits of using a countdown timer, right? By the way, I'm using the classic layout today. Did you guys notice that I busted out the classic layout? So see this down here? Now that's the bubble, the theme, whatever. I'm on the classic theme. I don't know if you guys have ever noticed that if you go to your brand tab inside StreamYard, you can actually pick from 4 different themes. I personally love the classic theme because it makes all of you large and in charge down below when I display your comments. And I honestly personally love that look. I love being able to see your little avatar nice and large. I like it. I just prefer it. However, sometimes when I get really long comments like Tim's, sometimes it can kind of get up in here and it can cover me up. So sometimes I go with the smaller theme. But today I felt like bringing it back. I just felt like bringing it back today. So it's kind of one of those things. So, okay. Yeah, so this is good. So the Creator Classroom, I'm curious about whether it's good to use a countdown timer or not. We're going to cover all that. So we're going to jump in. So here's what we're going to do. I want to say hello to everybody. We're definitely here. If you are new to the show, my name is Melanie Dyann Howe. I am one of your mentors here at StreamYard. This is a show that we do every week. So it's where we take a topic and we take a deep dive. You can ask me all kinds of questions about it. Sometimes the question or the topic actually comes from questions that have been posted in our Facebook community. So I always like to make sure everybody knows we do have a Facebook community. If you want to join that Facebook group, all you got to do is search StreamYard community over in Facebook and request to join. Just answer the questions and you will be let in. This community is fantastic. It's a great resource for you to ask questions, get support, get help, get encouragement. So sometimes I see questions and then I'm like, that would make a really great show. And so I'll take that question and I might feature it in the show. But a lot of times lately I've just been picking stuff, just been picking things. Been picking things that I think everybody needs to hear about and know, and that's what we've been doing. So, but if you have great questions, use the hashtag Ask StreamYard when you post your question and I might grab it and use it in an upcoming show. So, all right, let's get to it, right? I think we should definitely make this happen. So, all right, Andrew says, I love that group. Yeah, it's a fantastic group. I got to tell y'all, it's wonderful. So, okay, lots of comments about countdown timers. That's what we're going to be talking about today. So let's start out with, honestly, let's just should you even use a countdown timer to start your stream? So let's just get to it, okay? Because a lot of you might be wondering that. Here's the deal. There's a few things to consider. A countdown timer. So something to know about when you go live. When you are using StreamYard, when you decide, hey, I'm going to click go live, it's time for me to say, yes, let's begin my broadcast. You're going to say go live. And what's going to happen is, you're not necessarily going to be live that second you click on go live. There's usually a bit of a delay for the technology to connect and to begin streaming. So that is definitely something to consider. Now, that delay has a lot of factors: your computer speed, your internet speed, what's going on in the bandwidth of the world of Facebook sometimes, or YouTube or whatever, right? So a lot of factors. It can be anywhere from 5 seconds to 20 seconds before you click the button and what you say and do is actually being broadcast. So that is definitely one of the benefits of a countdown timer, is that you start your broadcast with a countdown timer. You don't have to worry about wondering if you're really actually live yet. The countdown timer sort of just takes away that awkwardness, I guess I could call it that uncertainty, that awkwardness. Because what might happen is from a replay standpoint, which that is a key word I want everyone to keep right here. It's a parking lot comment, okay? The replay is a part of what you need to consider when you're going to use a countdown timer. We're going to get to that. I'm going to unpack that a little bit more, but the replay. So when somebody comes and watches your live broadcast, not live, they're watching the replay, and you click to go live and you start talking right when you click that button, the first sentence or two that you say may not even be a part of that broadcast, that replay. So when you start with a countdown timer, that does help eliminate that issue, that potential issue. Now, you could also start with just an overlay. You could start and not be saying anything. You could just be hanging out and smiling at the camera for 8 seconds, 9 seconds, and then start. You could do that. There's certainly, you don't have to use a countdown timer to mitigate that awkwardness, right? However, also, the other thing to think about is if you are multi-streaming. So if you are streaming like we are today, we are on Facebook, we are in a Facebook group, we're on YouTube, we're actually streaming to LinkedIn as well. If you are multi-streaming like that, which StreamYard, if you're on one of the paid plans, allows you to easily multi-stream, so easy, then one thing to also consider is when you click go live, you are probably going to be live on YouTube before you're live on Facebook and before you're live on LinkedIn. Now, this is just the nuances of the platforms and the way that the APIs connect and the way it all works. What that means is if you click go live, it might be 7 seconds in reality before you're really live on YouTube, but it might be 12 seconds in reality before you're really live on Facebook or LinkedIn. So when you have the countdown, it just, again, it ensures that you give yourself some time to let them all kind of come together and you're officially live on all platforms. And then when the countdown is done, you're ready to start. It's a way to sort of just sync up everything, right? That's one of the popular reasons why people like to use a countdown timer when they're multi-streaming, is to just ensure that they don't have to worry about any of that weirdness about it takes longer to be live on Facebook than it does on YouTube and blah, 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 blah. So that's another reason. Another reason, as Doug from SmackDown Outdoors mentioned earlier about why some people might use a countdown timer, is because, quite frankly, when you create and start your live broadcast, the likelihood that people are sitting and waiting for you or just ready to pop in is minimal. It takes people minutes. In fact, it might take people up to 10 minutes to actually get the notification, see the notification on their phone, click through it, and join your broadcast. They might be on the phone when you start your live broadcast. They might be in the car when you start your live broadcast. They might be doing the dishes. They might be cooking dinner. Who knows what they're doing before they may be in the middle of something and your broadcast starts. They get the notification, but that doesn't mean that as soon as they get the notification, they're coming and joining your broadcast. Okay, so that's something to also keep in mind. Now, that notification only happens if they are subscribed to you and they have notifications turned on for your live streams. They aren't going to get notified. So the other scenario is someone's just randomly scrolling YouTube or scrolling Facebook and they happen to see that you are live in their news feed. The likelihood that happens the moment you start your broadcast is very minimal. So again, another benefit to starting with a countdown is that you're actually allowing some time before your live audience shows up. Now, this is a thing that you're doing. You're catering to your live audience. The downside to that is people watching the replay have to either scroll through or wait for a countdown timer to finish before you get into the goods, right? Somebody had mentioned that earlier, that they said no countdown timer because they don't want to sit and wait. They want it to start. They're ready for the broadcast to start. They want to get to it, right? So I saw that earlier from somebody. Here it is. Supreme Gecko said, no timer. When I watch a live, I want to see the host and or guest, not wait 30, 45, or 60-second timers. Now, Supreme Gecko, that is assuming you are there ready as soon as that broadcast starts. Now, the only way that that's going to happen is, one, again, if you know that they're going live ahead of time, so they've pre-scheduled their broadcast. So if you're pre-scheduling your broadcast, if you're going to StreamYard and saying, I want to schedule a broadcast like we did today. I was scheduled for today at noon. Many of you might have seen a notification, hey, StreamYard's going live in 20 minutes or whatever it does now. 30 minutes, I think, is the YouTube thing that it's starting to do. You may have been here hanging out at noon Eastern time, ready for me to go live. That might be the case, but that's because I pre-scheduled it and you were able to see it and know and actually sit and kind of wait for the curtains to open, if you will, right? So that is definitely one of those things to be thinking about. If you're pre-scheduling, then you may not need the countdown timer as much as you would if you're going live spontaneously. If you go live spontaneously and it's not pre-scheduled, the only people that are going to be there right at the get-go, did you catch that? Only people that are going to be there right at the beginning of your broadcast are people who are on the platform at the moment. They get a notification because they have subscribed and selected that they want to get notified from when you go live. That's a personal settings feature that they have to make sure that they opt in for on your specific profile. Okay, not just in general, but your specific profile. They literally have to say, I want to get notified when Supreme Gecko goes live, and I want it to be a push notification. And they have to allow push notifications on their phone. That has to be the case. They have to be on their phone, they have to get that notification, and they have to click it at the moment for them to be in your live broadcast within the first 30 seconds, truly. because the notifications even have a delay. So not only does you click go live, there's a delay before you're actually live. The notifications to your audience who have subscribed and said get notified when you go live, there's a delay there as well. So there's a lot of delays here. This is why it makes sense to have a countdown timer, especially when you're going to go live spontaneously. Now, this is my opinion. Not everybody shares my opinion. This is my opinion. Because if not, you're going to go live and you're going to be talking to no one. But there's another thing to think about. Remember that magic word I said earlier, replay? Do you remember that one? If you are going live and your number one goal is the replay, which many of you know that is definitely a very good strategy. If you're focused on the replay and you're not planning to really engage much in the audience, and you just want to have a really great video that can live and have some value from an SEO and a replay standpoint, and you want to cater to the people watching the replay, in that case, you probably want to either skip the countdown altogether or trim it out after you have gone live. Now, there's things to consider there too. So again, it all kind of goes into, there's a lot to think about. I mean, you don't have to make it complicated. There's a lot to consider. You don't have to consider everything. In the end, you can do whatever you want. You can do whatever you want, truly. Me, on my channel, I do a 10-minute countdown. That is insane to most people. And there are lots of people out there that tell me that is ridiculous. Why are you doing that? But my countdown is very engaging. People can see me while I'm live. I change my camera angles while I do it. I have a transparent countdown going on, and I play music and I dance. And I wear these like fun sunglasses, and it's a lot of fun. It's different. My audience is used to it. They kind of come, they like getting pumped up. They like to listen to the music. They're commenting to me. I'm commenting back to them. We're having fun during that warm up, right? So that's my style. That's my method. That doesn't have to be your method. So again, you can do whatever you want, but there are things to consider. So the number one thing to consider is this. Is your stream pre-scheduled or not? If it's pre-scheduled, it's less likely you need a countdown, or at least a longer countdown. You can use a shorter one. Also, are you multi-streaming? The countdown allows you to have that time to let the streams all kind of make sure they're all live on all the platforms, together before you actually get into your content. And then the other thing, as Doug from SmackDown Outdoors mentioned, is you also, when you use a countdown, you are eliminating that weird, awkward start where nobody's really live, not very many people are live, and you're like going to have to repeat everything you said when more people join. So when I went live I started out and I went live. I started out with a 60-second timer, and the 60-second timer was done. And now there are like 6 times as many people here live right now than there were then. So after a whole minute, there are 6 times more people here now, 20 minutes into the stream than there were after the first minute. So it's one of those things, like, again, that countdown allows you to just give people time to show up. Here's the key. As I mentioned, the replay. If you're creating a live video and you're just going live and you really just want to create a live video that you want to live on, and your major objective is for the replay value, the people watching it later, then I would either recommend you don't start with a countdown and you just get to it, because anybody who finds that replay later is going to want to just get to it, or you trim out the countdown. These platforms on Facebook and YouTube allow you to edit your video after the fact, and you can trim that countdown timer out. You can trim that. You could go all the way to where you first get started to the good stuff, right? Even if you spend some time welcoming your audience for a while and warming them up and saying hello to everyone like I always do, then you can even trim that part out. Go to the point where you really get to the good stuff. If you do this over on YouTube, you are going to lose your live chat. So on YouTube, people can watch an old video. Let me just show you really quick what this looks like. So, because some of you may not even realize, like, what are you talking about, live chat? So let me go to an old StreamYard live broadcast. I'll go to an old one here. Sorry about that. That was probably that was actually this one. Remember last week when I was like, 2 weeks ago when I had the massive echo because let me actually mute that really quick. Mute. I'm going to mute the browser so it doesn't push into you twice. Okay, let me pull this up. Let me get you a playlist. That's not what I want. Go to the playlist. Okay, I got this. Everybody just give me a sec. Hold. All right, let's talk about, we'll go to this one. I'm going to pause it. Okay, so here's what we have. Share my screen so y'all can see this. Share. All right, so here we have the replay. This is on YouTube. Do you see all this right here? That is the live chat. That's actually from the people that were commenting while I was live. That's the live chat. And as you watch a video, if we scroll ahead, you'll notice here, that's a great screenshot. It's showing you the entire live chat. So if you watch a replay on YouTube that is a replay of a stream, you will actually see the live chat as well, unless you decide to hide the chat. Now, this is a setting. Now you're going to see some stats and stuff because of what we have open. But if you were watching that video, that's what you would see. Now, you can hide it as a viewer. You can actually set it up so that it hides it anyway. If we trimmed this video, if StreamYard trimmed the video, if they trimmed out this beginning right here, all that, if we trimmed all that out, then this chat would not be visible to anyone. It actually removes your live chat and it goes away. Okay. So if you trim a video, if you edit a video, a live broadcast after the fact on YouTube, it will take away that live chat. So if the live chat is important to you for whatever reason, then you cannot trim your video. So you wouldn't be able to trim out the countdown. So again, something to consider. If you're creating a video and you're going for the replay, and you want to do a countdown, but you want to get to the point, you are going to take away that live chat. There's all kinds of people out there that can chime in about whether that's good or bad. We're not going to talk about that today. The Creator Classroom says, I wish that was something YouTube would change. I think that the reason they don't change it, and it makes sense, is because if you trim out part of the video, are you going to take out that part of the live chat, the people chat that commented during that part? From a simplistic standpoint, that live chat, when you watch a replay of a stream, you're seeing the comments come in as if you were watching it live, as if you were there live. You see those comments come in when they came in during the stream. And if you trimmed out part of the video, the timing would be off, or they'd have to take out those comments as well. So the only other option they really would have would be if you cut out 5 minutes of for the beginning of your live video, then they would have to cut out the first 5 minutes of comments as well. They could probably do that. I'm sure the technology could be developed, but for whatever reason, they don't want to. So that is that is the reason they do it, that's something to just consider. So let me check in on the comments really quickly as we are. So Chris says that they multi-stream. So you might want to consider a short countdown to just ensure you are definitely live on all of the different, the different channels. So let me see. So Kathy's Corner says, how about going live on stream Instagram first to promote your live? You could totally do that. In fact, a lot of people do that because, right now the streaming to Instagram has to be done natively in the app. So you can't multi-stream. That's right now. I think that's changing. But a lot of people will actually go live on Instagram and say, I'm about to go live. Come head over to YouTube, whatever. That is actually a strategy. It's actually a pretty decent strategy. I've seen some people do it really well. And then some people just do it randomly and whatever. But yeah, definitely one of those things you want to do. So here's something else. This is the other thing that I wanted to cover when it comes to should you use a countdown timer or not. And I talked about that replay, right? Like if you're focused on the replay, then there's something I want you to think about, because a lot of people are saying it's easier for me to just go live. So I'm creating a live video and I'm, doing a tutorial or I'm covering a point. So your video is short. It's 5 minutes, it's 8 minutes, it's 10 minutes, because you're really trying to create a YouTube video and you're answering a question. You're doing, like I said, you're totally focused on having a video on your channel that people watch after you're actually live. You're just creating a video and you're using the live broadcast feature to do it. A lot of people prefer this because they say, I don't have to worry about editing. I don't have to worry about bloopers. I just get it done. Because if I pre-record, I'm trying to be perfect and I'm trying to make it perfect and it's awkward for me. And I just rather just create a live video, be done with it. Now I have a video on my channel. If that's you, you can do that. You can do that. I would say don't use a countdown timer, but 100% you need to make sure that you are absolutely paying attention to the comments after the fact. Don't ever forget to deal with comments after the fact. You also need to understand that you are essentially going to be ignoring anyone watching you live, okay? What this is going to do, it's going to potentially put some people off. It's going to put some people off because you are live and you're not talking to anyone in the comments. You are just delivering your content. You're ignoring everyone in the comments. They're going to kind of be like, what the heck? So they may not really feel connected to you. They may actually decide, why am I even subscribed if they're never ever going to talk to me? Why am I watching this live video? I mean, again, it all depends, but you may actually push some people away if you're going to use that method. Something to just consider. I personally believe it's better to pre-record that type of video and upload it. Someone mentioned earlier that you can even premiere it if you want, whatever you want to do. I think it's better to pre-record it, put a good little intro and outro on it, and make it an actual upload video, not a stream, because of that factor. I personally believe live videos is about engagement. It's about engaging with people. It's about delivering help and engaging with the audience. I've been mentioning people that have been commenting in here. I've been mentioning, some points that I know. It's really just something to really think about. Your live video is about talking to your audience. From a replay standpoint, I like the idea of delivering the value and then going into Q&A and chatting with people. If you want to trim out the Q&A at the end, go for it. You might want to trim out the countdown timer if you do that. Go for it. So the countdown timer for me, I think it's valuable because it gives my audience time to show up to the stream so that I can engage with them, so I can talk with them, so that they're not missing anything. They aren't showing up and be like, oh crap, because I was in the car or I was washing my hands and I couldn't join right at noon or whatever time you're going live. So the countdown timer also gives your audience a little bit of time to show up and be ready for you to go live. So it's one of those things that's really important. So Doug says, if you're only making a video for the replay, just take your time and make a fully edited video. And some people are good and some people struggle with that. The Creator Classroom says they might think, are they live? That is another thing. Some people will actually think that you have pre-recorded something and you're trying to make it like you're live and you're not. That's actually another thing. They might feel fooled. They might feel like you're bamboozling them, right? One of those things. Let's see, what else? What other people, what other comments do we have here? So, Richie says, I prefer not to use the YouTube editor. A lot of people don't like the YouTube editor. Some people love it. It's just one of those things. Again, personal preference. Let me see. So Chris says, we can always share replays from specific timestamps and not lose the chat. That's actually another really great idea. If you're not going to cut out that timer in the beginning, then use the timestamp feature in YouTube so that when someone goes, viewers on YouTube are getting used to this feature. So they watch a replay and they're like, oh, it's a live stream. I want to see when they get to the points I care about. If you use timestamps to get to those points, in the description, they can click through. They're going to appreciate that a lot. They're going to appreciate that a lot, actually. So it's one of those things that you can consider. I'm looking at some of the comments here because I want to check in with you guys. Now, I am going to answer questions. I'm totally going to answer questions when we get to it. So we're going to have time for some Q&A because I know you guys are going to have some Q&A. So I just talked about, if you're just joining us, we talked about, should you use a countdown timer to start your stream? I went through a number of scenarios. Did I miss anything I wanted to say? Oh, that's a screenshot. Someone's going to screenshot that one. That face I just made. So here's the other thing. If your live streams are short, they're just short in general, even if you're engaging with people. But if you're like one of those short streamers, which there are people out there that do it, they do 5-minute streams, then you probably don't need a countdown timer. Same scenario. You probably just don't even need to mess with a countdown timer. If that's your channel and your streams are short, but you are engaging, you probably don't need one. Again, longer ones, you probably want to go for the countdown timer for sure. Let me see here. I am looking for... Ooh, this is another great point. This is all about engagement, right? We're getting into some engagement tips here. Man, I really love having the classic theme back. I gotta say, I love having everything so much larger. I love it. He's Smackdown Outdoor says, if I hear answer in the comments, then they never acknowledge the comments during a live stream, I'm gonna go crazy. Yeah, I will say there are a lot of streamers that will actually prompt their audience to do certain things, but then they never even come back to those answers. That's not really, I think, a very good method either. I don't like that strategy. I even have some friends that do that, and I'm like, why are you doing that? Please stop. But they just do it. That's their style, whatever. Again, you can do whatever you want. That's the beauty. You can do whatever you want. I am just providing some things to consider, some things to think about, and you can make your own decision. You can do whatever you want because honestly, there are so many ways to do all these things when it comes to streaming and all the things. You don't have to do anything except go live, of course. But you can do it your own way. That's the beautiful thing about all this but there are some ways that are going to be a little bit more effective for you. There are best practices, but you got to determine what's good for you. What works for you? I have a 10-minute countdown timer. That's insane to some people, but it works for me and my audience likes it and it is what it is. If people don't like it, probably not a good fit. Don't come hang out with me online. That simple. Go find somebody else with a shorter countdown timer. It's that simple. So you be you, do your own way, do what works for you, do what's fun. Know some things, be informed about the choices you make and what sacrifices you might be making because of the choices you make due to your own personal preferences or abilities or whatever. Just be informed, but do what you want. Do your thing. That's like what I say all the time about everything. So that's what you need to know, right? Now, if you're just not joining us, we are talking about countdown timers. We're talking about should you use countdown timers, but also how to use them, which is actually the next thing I'm going to talk about. So I went a little reverse in regards to that thumbnail. I talked about should you or should you not use a countdown timer first. But now I'm actually going to cover how you need to use the countdown timer. Now, countdown timers in StreamYard, so simple. So simple. First of all, everybody has a 30-second countdown timer automatically inside of their StreamYard studio. Looks like this. It is this one right here. Yeah, that's it. That's what you get. That's your countdown timer. Okay. Now, when it comes to you can also, if you're on a paid plan, you can upload your own countdown timer, whether you have somebody make it for you, whether you make it yourself. That is also a way that you can do a custom countdown timer like the one we start with. Right? Or something like this. So you can do lots of things. You can make your own countdown timer. It's just a video you upload to the video clips. I am going to go through what I believe is the best way to start a countdown in StreamYard. There is a series of steps that I think is the best way for you to do it. I do not like it when people go live and the countdown's already going, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to cover that. I'm also going to share with you a workaround if you don't want to have a video completely covering the stream. If you want to be on screen while you're live, I'm also going to share with you a way you can do it that I think a lot of people don't really think about or realize. And it's those of you that are thinking OBS virtual camera. No, that's too complicated for this audience. However, in the description of this video, there is a link to a YouTube video that I made for the StreamYard channel where I go through all the different countdown timers and the ways you can, 4 different types. And I cover each one. And the last one is how I do my own countdown with transparent OBS virtual camera. Those of you that want to learn how to do that, check that video out in the comment or in the description of this video. That goes through all the details. But for this stream today, I am going to cover how you use the countdown timer. So what do we have? I need to check in on the comments again because I saw a bunch of people. There's a bunch of new people hanging out with us and I love it. Yeah. So speak English with this guy. You can do whatever you want and the audience will respond accordingly. Absolutely. They're either going to say, this person is for me, I love this, or they're going to say, this person's not for me, and they're going to bounce. Totally fine. That's called attracting and repelling. You want to attract the right people and you want to repel the people that just aren't a good fit for you. So that's the way that works. Okay. Let's see. Ooh, I see some questions coming in. I am going to answer some questions here in just a few. But I first want to do a quick tutorial on how to actually do do this, how to actually do this using the StreamYard Studio. But I want to make sure, I just pinned a question. I saw a question about OBS. I am going to I'm just checking in on comments really quick, making sure we're good. All right, I think we're good to go. So let me talk about, yeah, there you go, Creator Classroom. Your vibe will attract your tribe. That is correct, 100%. Okay, here we go. So, grilling and chilling with Mojo. Caught you live. Awesome. Well, it's good to see you. I love it when people get to actually hang out live that miss the live. They always see the replays, but they get to be here live. So it's always fun. All right, now let's talk about how to actually do this. So here's how to begin your stream. So there's a number of steps. Let me give you the steps, and then I'm going to show you the steps. All right, so the steps are this. Personally, again, this is if you are streaming. Well, it works if you use a 30-second countdown timer, but I'm going to go through the steps that I recommend you use if you are on a paid plan and you have the ability to upload your own background, overlays, and videos. Now, you can use the video one. You can use this. That is a really hard thing to do. Can you do that? That kind of hurts my wrist. The third one, that one, caveat is you can just use the 30-second timer that's built into StreamYard, or you can use your own custom one. So, and if we have time, I will show you quickly how you can make one in Canva. Now, the only other thing I didn't talk about when it comes to the countdown timers is if you're going to use a countdown timer, you can keep it simple and just have a countdown timer going and do nothing. I personally like to display comments. Any comments that are coming in during the countdown, I display them. That is getting the audience going. That's them knowing, oh, I need to be engaged. Let's go. It's time to fire up. I also think that it's also great to start with, have a banner displayed, or even design your countdown that has some sort of like prompt for your audience. Like, let me know where you're watching from, or hey, like I did today, do you use a countdown timer in your streams? This is an engaging countdown. People aren't just sitting and waiting. They're actually able to start to participate in your stream, which is, a lot of you said you don't like to use a countdown because you don't want to lose people. You don't want people to jump in and be like, oh, there's 2 minutes left. Like, I got stuff to do. I'm bouncing. I might come back. If you actually are giving them something to do while they wait, then they can comment what their answer to your question is, and they can read the other question answers coming in as well. This is engagement. This is an engaging countdown. I told you about how I dance and play music during my countdown. It's an engaging, entertaining countdown. So I do think that is a best method, a best practice when it comes to using a countdown. So I forgot to mention that earlier. So here's the deal. These are the steps that you're going to go through. I am actually going to display my screen because I think that maybe it just makes sense because of what I'm going to share. This is a document that I have. It's part of my live bootcamp course, and it is one of the cheat sheets that I have. So I just thought I would share it because it's actually way easier than what I was going to do. Hold on. This is actually going to be way better. I wasn't going to share it, but I'm going to share it. Changed my mind. Let's see. How's that look? Looks okay. Let's see if I can make it a little bit more tight. There. Okay. So this is how I say you make this happen. All right. You are going to start with make sure your overlay or your background is displayed. So when I start my streams here on StreamYard, I actually start with the thumbnail. I almost every time use the exact same thumbnail as my overlay. I literally will have it displayed. So I have that selected. I am backstage. Again, I'm going to demo this so you'll see this in reality in StreamYard. But I like to have that as the starting screen so that when I click go, as I told you all, there is a delay. There is a waiting period before you're actually broadcasting. So I like to start with the overlay because then even when somebody watches the replay, they're going to watch it and it's going to start with what this whole broadcast is even about. So I start with the overlay. I make sure that nobody is in the stream. So I have the overlay displayed. I make sure I am removed from the studio. And if I have guests on and we did a pre-stream tech check, then I remove them as well. So they're removed at this point. Oh, look at that. I never edited that right there. Isn't that funny? Lauren, Oh, geez, I just went to full screen. The next step is to go live. So you're going to go live and start your stream. What is going to be displayed to your audience is the overlay or that background that you have displayed. Because you removed yourself, you're automatically muted. So you don't have to worry about any of that. That is actually fantastic. Then after you're live for, I don't know, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, however long you want it to be or need it to be, you're going to click on the countdown timer video inside of your studio. So you're going to go to that video and you're going to click it, and then you are going to then now be displaying that video. At this point, if there's music or audio with that video, all the mics are muted no matter what. They are muted. Even if you were, behind you were still added to the stream, you're muted at this point. Okay. The next thing that's going to happen is right before that countdown timer is over, you need to make sure if you had a overlay displayed, you're going to want to unselect the overlay. Okay, you're going to want to uncheck it, turn it off, and then right before that countdown timer is over, right before the countdown timer is over, when that countdown video is over, it's going to go away. And what's going to be displayed is whatever's in the studio at that time. So you're going to need to add yourself back to the studio, okay, before the countdown timer ends. And when that happens, you will then be displayed on screen. So this is the step-by-step. Now I'm going to demo this for you. Okay, so I'm going to demo this for you. If you want to take a screenshot of this right now, go for it. So that you have that step-by-step. Don't worry about the lorem ipsum. I guess I need to fix that. This must be an old version. This must be not the actual version. So here's what we're going to do next. I am going to show you in the studio how to do this. So let me get StreamYard up. Not with that browser. Let me open it up correctly. While I do that, I'm going to check on you. Can you unmute while a video is playing to do voiceover? Yes, you absolutely can. You have to actually, if the video has audio, it's going to mute you. You just simply go under down and you just unmute yourself. If your video does not have audio, it's not going to mute you. For example, this video right here has no audio. You all can hear me right now. You can hear everything I'm saying because the video itself did not have any audio, so therefore it never muted me. However, this one, now that one had audio, you should be able to hear me and the music, which is probably really annoying and awful. But I had to unmute myself. But keep in mind, if your video has audio and it's loud and you want to talk, it's going to be a challenge. I only recommend you do that if your video has no audio. So, but yes, you absolutely can do that. Can we get your checklist? You could screenshot it. I'm giving it to you right there. I actually need to get my boot camp launched again. Let me see here. Doggy Trader says, second live ever. Well, there you go. Mariano J's here. I haven't seen you in forever. Good to see you, my friend, live again. Okay, let me check this out. Let me make sure we're good. All right, let me see. You just noticed my lava lamps? Where have you been? There they are. They're back there. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I am going to enter my studio. And I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so if I am in, I'm going to just do the Ask StreamYard one, honestly. Keep it easy so you can see exactly how I did today's. I'm going to actually show you exactly how I did today's using the process that I just used, right? Using the process that I just used. That's what I'm going to do. Now, while I am doing this demo, if you have questions for me, go ahead and start to submit them. Put a Q in front of your questions so I can grab it and see it. I definitely have time to take some questions today at the end of our stream. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to do a live demo so that y'all can see. I'm going to literally demo what I just explained. The process I just went through, the step-by-step, I'm now going to demo that for you. So here's what we have. We're in the studio. Okay, now again, you have to be on a paid plan to have your own overlays or backgrounds and your own videos. If you're on a free plan, your only option is going to be this. It's going to start out with this background, and you're only going to get to start out and play this. That's it. That's all you're going to get. Okay. So if you're on a paid plan, You can upload overlays. You can upload backgrounds. So you could actually start out, if you wanted to, just with the background. You could do this if you wanted to. But I recommend you upload an overlay. Now, this is just the thumbnail, the same thumbnail that I used for this broadcast. You don't have to actually do that. You can actually create your own custom overlay that says, we'll get started shortly. Where are you watching from? Whatever you want to do. Okay, whatever you want to do. All I'm saying is you can use a custom overlay. So have your overlay displayed. Now you notice I am not in the stream. I am backstage because I'm kind of grayed out here. All right. So if I were starting my stream and if I had some guests with me, and I was doing a pre-tech check, like I said, I might say, okay, it's about time for us to go live. I'm going to go ahead and put us down backstage. So I'm going to put you backstage. You will see in your preview window everything everybody sees, but you're backstage, you're muted, you're to go. You won't be unmuted until I bring you up, right? So let them know that. Remove yourself, remove them, remove. Now you see that we're not in the window. We're not in the stream. Display the overlay. This is the next step. Display the overlay. Your next step is to go live. Okay, you're going to be hitting the go live button. So I am actually not going to do that at this moment because I don't want to be live twice. And I think it might make my camera get all crazy and be confused and all the craziness. So we're not going to risk that. We're going to keep it simple. But you would click go live. And at that point, right in the middle here, it would say, you are now live, right? Give it a few seconds. Let this sit for a minute. You may start to see comments coming in. You may see the little highlight here that says you have comments. You may then, go ahead and start displaying those comments if you want. You may want to grab a banner and say, hey, we'll get started shortly, right? You may want to start to do that at this point. And then you can go back to your brand. And at that point, when it's time and you're like, all right, I need to get this show on the road, you will then go to your video clips and you will click on your countdown timer. Now I've got a few videos here, but you're going to click on that countdown timer. That countdown timer is going to start and it's going to go. And at this point, you're still backstage. Notice this. At this point, it's safe to go ahead and scroll up and turn off the overlay. Notice how the overlay is on. Turn that off. That's just simply making sure that won't be appearing. You're good to go. Now keep this in mind. Now Doug is saying you can leave yourself in the stream and you won't show. So let me just let me explain that scenario, but let me also explain the risk of that scenario. So if you were to say, I'm going to start here and I'm going to put my overlay on to start my stream, your mic is hot. Your audience can hear you. You have to remember to mute your mic. The reason why I like to just say, remove me from the stream is because I now have eliminated that risk. No one can hear me at all. I also am eliminating the risk of accidentally deselecting this. Oops. And I'm like, I'm on screen. So again, remove yourself. I prefer that you be removed and your mic is automatically muted. You are ready to start. You get started with your countdown. And then you go up here, remove that. And at the end of the countdown, before the end of your countdown is up, okay? So before it's up, which is it's a minute long, whatever, you're gonna have to deal with it. So Tim Heel says, remember to mute your mic. Yes, that is only if you are in the stream. If your countdown timer has music like mine does, like the StreamYard ones do, you do not have to worry about this even when you add yourself to the stream. However, if you're using a countdown like this one right here actually doesn't have any audio. There's actually no audio with this one. So there's nothing there. All right. So let's do this in reality with one that actually has audio. Let me actually turn the browser stream back up. So here I am. I'm going to remove myself. I'm going to start with an overlay. There's the overlay. I'm going to click on this one. We're going to just do this. Okay, here we go. So now I'm going to turn that down. You all probably hear that countdown music. Okay, but I'm going to turn it down because I'm actually using an audio mixer. I can do that. But notice this. We're getting close. Okay, I turned my overlay off. My overlay is going to be off now. I'm ready to go. I need to add myself to the stream. Look, your mic is muted. The reason why my mic is muted is because there's music. There is music on that. That's why my mic was muted. Okay. So as soon as it's done, Now I'm ready to go live, right? Oh, it says my mic is still muted. It shouldn't be. I don't know why that was the case. Oh, I think it's because I had clicked on mute. You won't be muted when you come back. When you come back up, you won't be muted when that video is over. So the video is gone and there you are. So again, the steps are this. The steps are remove yourself from the stream, add your overlay, click go live, give it a few seconds, engage if you want in the comments with banners, and then click on your countdown timer video. And when that is done, you will be on screen. We will go ahead and you're going to add yourself to the stream at that point, and then you will then remove the overlay. Then the countdown's over and you're on screen ready to go live. Just be ready. Be smiling and be ready, looking into the camera before that countdown timer's up, because as soon as that video ends, you're live and you're on screen with your audience. So that is how you do that in StreamYard. Let me show you a really quick bonus way. If you don't want to be, like, notice here, was the stream. This is what everybody saw. They saw that whole entire video. The whole video, that's everything they saw. Okay, if you want to be on screen while the countdown's going on, there's a way to do it. Let me show you really quick. This is a quick bonus way that I wanted to cover really fast. Again, I cover this in the video. All of this step by step, everything I'm doing, you can also watch down there. There is a description of this video. There's a link that takes you to a YouTube tutorial I did for the StreamYard channel. It goes through 4 ways to start your stream with countdown timer. That one I just showed you, the one I'm going to show you now, and then a couple bonus ones too. So let me grab a couple questions. I see some questions. So I want to make sure I pin those because I will answer a few questions here at the end of the show. So the next thing you can do is, let's say you have a countdown timer. I need to get it up. You have a countdown timer that you created and designed. You saved it to your computer. Whoa. Move to the other channel or other screen, please. Let's say you have a video that you have created. You saved it to your computer. When you create a video, you can actually just share the video. So what you would do is display your overlay, okay? Start your stream, display your overlay, have it covering you. And when it's time to start your show and you want to be on screen, you're going to use the layout that has you on screen and a screen share. The screen share is the video. So you're going to share your screen and share the video on your other monitor or just the video itself. So share, I'm going to share it now. Actually, I'm going to do this so you all see. Let me do it in the way it would be shown to you as an audience member. So thumbnail, covering everything up. Behind the scenes here, I am now sharing my screen. You can't see it, but I can see it in the studio. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to get it ready. And you all are going to see what this is going to look like if I were to do it this way. So let's make it happen. All I'm going to do is I'm sharing my screen. I have it in the layout. It's all behind the scenes now because the overlay is on. As soon as I turn that overlay off, the countdown will be shown with me. Overlay's coming off now. Hey! So as you see here, this is the screen share. I'm just using the screen share feature. So if I wanted it to be big, great. If I want it to be small, if I want to be down here in the corner, if I want to go full screen, if I want to go to me, if I want to go here, if I want to do here, you can do all kinds of stuff. This is one of the ways that you can have a countdown displayed. And if you want to be engaged, like if you just want to be like, if you want to play some background music from StreamYard, hold on. We'll do that. Dance pop. There you go. So we got some dance pop going. Yep. Pretty easy, right? All pretty easy stuff. I am playing the background music in StreamYard. I'm just using a screen share and I have my countdown timer audio video player going. Now, the trick is when that's ready to be done, you just need to go to solo mode and just turn it off because you don't want, this is what people will see if you don't do anything about it. Watch. It's going to go to the end of your video and be blah. It's just going to pause and everyone's going to see that. So when your timer's done, just do this. Be done with it. So that is actually a way that anyone can use it. You can use that on the free account because you can share your screen on the free account and you have background music on the free account. So if you're on a free account and you want to be on screen with your countdown, that's how you do it. Just share your screen and have a countdown timer playing. That's the bonus way that I wanted to share with you. And I wanted you to check it out. Don't get mad because I didn't read your comment. I have like 70 people live and I can't read every single comment. So sorry if I don't read everybody's comments, but you'll be okay. All right. Okay, so let me see here. Let me go ahead and just be done with that person because we don't need people bad-mouthing StreamYard while we're hanging out, right? Okay. All right, so love the screen share. Good. Love the screen share and background music features that were added this year. Make a great platform even more awesome. The screen share's always been there. The screen share's been there from day one. Definitely one of the things I really like. So Vicky says, very cool. I like that. So yeah, so you literally don't have to have a paid plan if you want to display a countdown. You can just use the screen share if you want and have your own custom countdown being shown on screen. So with that being said, let me jump in and check out some questions, right? Let me check out some questions. So I saw there were some questions from forever ago, a while back. So Berlino says, I use OBS Virtual, so virtual camera, to stream with StreamYard, but the problem is I can't sync my audio with the video. Interesting. I use OBS Virtual Camera and don't have any issues with this. This could be a resource issue on your computer. In order to use OBS, you have to have a pretty powerful computer. I will say that sometimes there can be some latency issues if you don't have a powerful computer. It also could actually be your microphone. Could be the cable on your microphone. So you might want to check some of those things with that. Okay. Let me see here. The Creator Classroom says, is there a way to lower the volume of a countdown timer in StreamYard if you want to talk over it? So the way that you would do this is in StreamYard. The way I just showed you was using the screen share. If you want to control the audio of a video, then you actually want to use the video share feature. So with the video share, I should probably open up StreamYard again to show this. So the way I just showed you was the screen share, but you can also use the video share feature, which actually is essentially almost exactly the same as what I showed you, except you have the ability to pause the video or change the audio. So let me enter the studio again so everybody knows what I'm talking about. That's a great question but the answer is yes, you can. Okay. So this is the StreamYard Studio. Let me turn this comment off for now because I need to show you. So what we have at the bottom is the share. So if you click on share, you see screen share, right? That's what I was using before. But if you use video file, it's going to let you upload a video file. See this one here? I'm going to upload that, and there it is. You add it. Now look, see this here? This little volume thing at the bottom? I can control the volume of the video by using this dial. So you probably want to do that first. You can add it. Well, you could add yourself. And it's the exact same thing, except you can, now your audience doesn't see that control. That's inside the studio. You control the audio at that point with what's going on. You can also pause the video if you want. This is great for tutorials. I use this for tutorials all the time. I just make sure that the tutorial I record doesn't have any audio, and then I just talk through it. So that would be the way you would want to do that. The Creator Classroom, who asked the question, is there a way to lower the volume of a countdown timer in StreamYard if you want to talk over it? You'd have to do it this way. You cannot adjust the volume of a video from if you upload a video to your brand folder in StreamYard. You cannot control the volume. At least as of right now, you cannot control the volume of a video. So that would be the way you would do that. Hopefully that answered your question. Same thing. So Chris says, is there a way to talk over an overlay without your video feed on? If it's an overlay, then all you have to do is have your overlay up and you are added to the studio and you're not visible. So for example, if I click on my overlay, you can hear me. I mean, you can definitely hear me right now. Nothing's changing. An overlay is just a static image, no audio at all. If you're talking about a video, you have to have that video can't have any audio with it, or at least the audio volume has to be really low on that video that you used, and you unmute your mic and talk through it. So I think I talked through that a little bit earlier. So, but Chris, if you have another question, let me know. Vicky says, is it easy to create the countdown timer in Canva? I love Canva. So yes, I personally think it's super easy to do a countdown timer in Canva. Honestly, it is way easier than it used to be. I can tell you that. Let me just go to Canva. We're going to create a design and we'll do video. So I went to Canva. You Canva users know what we're doing here. I went to Canva. I said, create video. Now, recently used is going to be like cheating, but if you go to create a video, you're going to see all these preset templates. You could totally use this template if you wanted. In fact, you've got thank you for watching, all these things. But if you don't even, there's one right there. There's a countdown right there for you. 3, 2, 1, but it's only 3 seconds. So here's what you want to do. Oops, let me take this out. Blank canvas, right? You go to elements. If you go to countdown and you type in countdown in elements, oh my gosh, type correctly. I promise I'm not this bad, but I can't see my keyboard. You're going to have all kinds of things. Go here to videos. You have all kinds of options for your countdowns. 30 seconds. There's even like a 10-minute one in here somewhere. There's a 30-second, 5-minute, 10-minute. You have all this. You can also go to Fiverr, have someone design one for you, and you can add it. You can do a couple of things here. So I like to say, create a background. Background, we'll just pick one real easy. Have a background. Go to elements. I like to go to the shapes or the frames. We'll go to this circle. Okay. Circle, make it nice and big. We're going to go back to elements and we're going to do timer. I'm going to go to videos and I'm going to find what I want here. Here's a 20-second one. Watch this. I'm going to grab it. I'm going to drag it into the element. Again, you Canva users know how all this works, right? There's a 20-second timer. Now you can have longer ones. You can find other ones. And then I might just want to add something right here. Welcome. We will start shortly. Okay, I'm going to move the text. Do this. Make it left justified. Enlarge it just like that. Super easy. Boom. I now have a countdown timer. 20-second countdown timer. How easy was that? Yes, it was easy. Now, that's a basic, super basic countdown timer. Not much to it. When you're done, you just simply export it as an MP4 file and you're ready to go. So that is how you do it in Canva, Vicky. Hopefully that was super easy. It was a super quick tutorial. But if you know Canva and you know how to create videos and you know how to do stuff, you can absolutely use Canva to create a countdown timer. In fact, I love using Canva to do that. So good question. The countdown timer I showed you earlier, it was from Canva. Like it was just a template. It was so easy, pretty much nothing, right? So super easy. Yeah. Element, countdown, video, boom, right? What is Canva? Oh, it'll change your life. Just go to canva.com, sign up for a free account. It'll change your life. It's awesome. Canva's fantastic. So Canva is absolutely fantastic. So let me see. I see some more questions coming in. So I've got some time to answer those questions. Let me check them out. When it comes to, so if you're looking to just buy honestly, Fiverr.com, that's Fiverr. You can find designers out there. There's also a lot of applications. Placeit.com is one. There are others that they actually just have templates for countdown timers. In fact, I think if you go to Canva and search like live video countdown, there are templates that are already made for you to do it. So how did you get rid of the troll? Right inside StreamYard, I clicked on the 3 dots on their comment and I said block, and they're done. They're gone. Peace out. Peace out. That's how you get rid of trolls when you're hanging out inside the StreamYard studio. So, okay, let me see here. I saw a couple more questions. I wanted to grab those before we take off for the day. So this particular question, I definitely will say you probably want to get with our support team. So just contact support. Go to our contact page, StreamYard.com/contact. Go to support, and they will probably get on a live chat with you, and they can probably troubleshoot what you got going on there, Sahil Luke. So check that out. JP Lawns and more says, will it ever be possible for panel participants to chat with the YouTube chat via the StreamYard chat like I can as the host? Okay, so what JP Lawns and more is talking about is you as the host, as the StreamYard account owner, can actually type a comment inside StreamYard and it will go to YouTube. Your guest cannot currently do that. No, as of right now, they can't do that, JP Lawns. I do not know if that will ever become a feature. I'm not sure. There you go. The Creator Classroom. I created 2 countdown timers in about 10 minutes this morning, probably using Canva, right? Super awesome. Yeah, Canva tutorials channel. There are a lot of tutorials on YouTube about Canva. So if you're new to Canva, definitely check it out. Chris says, what if you're using transparent overlays with your brand backgrounds? Can you still remove your video and still have audio? No. Yes. Yes. Okay. Okay, Chris, great follow-up question. I'm so glad you actually asked the follow-up question. Here's what you would want to do. You would want to have your settings appropriate. Let me show what this is actually going to be. I'm going to pull up StreamYard, go back into my studio. Now, settings. You want to be in your settings, Chris? Up here where it says audio, click on audio, and general. I'm sorry. General. You want to be in general. You want to make sure audio avatars is turned off. Okay, so this is off. And then when you go into the studio and you are on a stream and you have, let's say, an overlay that is transparent. The only one I have is puddles or confetti, so we'll do this. If you want your transparent overlay to be working, but you want to be able to talk but not be visible, then what you have that audio avatar off, right? As long as that audio avatar is off, down at the bottom, you are going to stop your camera right here. So when you stop the camera, look, you are in the stream with audio only. I can talk. I can change my background at this point to whatever I want. I can talk. They can hear me because I'm not using the audio avatar. So I'm still in this stream, but as you can see, I turned off my camera. Once I turn my camera on, I'm back on screen. I'm over the background. But if I turn my camera off, I'm talking, they can hear me. My transparent overlay is working. This happens to be an actual animated transparent overlay, but that's how that works. If I did have audio avatars on, which might be the default setting, and I did this is what would happen. I would stop the camera and you would see my avatar, and you see my avatars pulsating as I speak. So you have to have avatars off for that feature, for what you're trying to do to work. But that's a great question. I'm so glad you asked that follow-up question because I know you were asking about that, and there you go. So appreciate that. That's what Chris was asking right there. So that's how you would do that. All right, probably have time for one more question. Let me check this out. Let me see how everybody's doing. Make sure we're good. Do I have any more questions? Da, 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 da. I don't know why I'm humming. You probably don't want to hear me hum because I'm not really much of a tune. Okay, let me see. Oh, there you go. The Creator Classroom actually makes Canva tutorials. There you go. Boom. So if you want to learn how to use Canva, go check out the Creator Classroom. There you go. Chris, I think it worked. So I think, Chris, I helped you out there. I appreciate it. Super love it. Okay. I don't see any other questions for today. So we're going to go ahead and call this one done. If you're just now joining us, definitely go back and check out the replay. We talked about countdown timers. We talked about how to use the countdown timer. Well, I actually started out with, should you use the countdown timer? I just realized that when I did that, it also turned the overlay on here. I forgot. Let me turn that off. That's done. Let me turn that off. That's done too, because Q&A is over. Okay, so we talked about countdown timers. I talked about, should you use a countdown timer? I gave you all kinds of scenarios to think about whether or not you should start your live stream with a countdown timer. And then, of course, I showed you how easy it is to start your stream with a countdown timer using the StreamYard Studio. I showed you how to do it on a free plan. I showed you how to get all custom with it if you have a paid plan and you can upload your own overlays. I actually also walked you through the exact step-by-step process that I use to start my streams here on the StreamYard channel with an overlay, then go into the countdown, and then I make sure that I am displayed next on that stream. I walked you through that. I even did a screen share of my own checklist about how to do that. You can go back and do a screen capture if you want of that checklist. You can have that for free. There you go. It's a donation for you. And then, of course, I talked about a bonus way, if you're on a free plan, about how to display a countdown timer that's custom that you made and have you on screen as well if you want. Answer some questions that we went into. Also even showed you very quickly how to make a basic countdown timer in Canva. So if you missed all that, definitely go back, check out the replay. And thank you for everyone who is always here, as always, hanging out with me live, watching as we are just having fun, learning how to create better live streams. That's my goal here as one of your live streaming mentors here at StreamYard. Now, I always like to say this too. I always like to make sure everybody knows. Typically, we are live on this show Fridays for the Ask StreamYard show at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Today is Monday at noon. I wish it was Friday. It feels like Friday because I did the show, but it is not. It's the beginning of the week. Hopefully it's a great week for you ahead. But normally we are here live on Fridays. So definitely check us out next Friday, 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Time. I've got some fun shows planned for the near future. Maybe even a couple of guests that are going to come on the show, and maybe even a couple takeovers that are going to take over the show for me. And the other thing I would like to make sure is that everybody knows is that if you want to know about the upcoming features or anything going on as far as what StreamYard's got in the works, tune in on Sunday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, where Dan and Gage go live on our town hall. And that's the best place to learn. That's typically where they start talking about things they're working on as far as feature releases and things like that. Sometimes I find out there before I find out from my friends here at StreamYard in the Slack channel. So definitely tune in 9 o'clock p.m. on Eastern, 9 p.m. Eastern Time on the StreamYard channel. Hopefully you're subscribed. If not, you now have at least 2 reasons to subscribe and hang out with us over here. So, all right, everybody, that's what I had for you today. I hope you have a great day. Enjoy the rest of your Monday, and I will see you next time. See ya.